Moto Guzzi has been building motorcycles in Italy since 1921. The brainchild of two Italian Air Force pilots and their mechanic, the factory near Lake Como has a long history of successful Grand Prix racing. Today, Guzzi, pronounce it like pizza, is best known for their trademark 90-degree V-twin engine and shaft drive. Unlike most American V-twins, the engine in a Moto Guzzi is mounted transversely. In other words, the crankshaft goes front to rear. Guzzis enjoy a loyal following in America, especially among long-distance riders. But through the years, various corporate owners and a spotty dealer network have kept the Italian eagle at the fringe of the U.S. market. Today, the company is owned by Piaggio, the people that brought us the Vespa. But that infusion of cash hasn't diluted the spirit of Moto Guzzi, and all their bikes are still powered by the iconic V-twin connected to the rear wheel through a drive shaft. The engines currently available are 750, 1100, and 1200 cc displacement.
This bike is the Moto Guzzi Norge 1200. They were released in late 2006, and the factory calls it their Gran Turismo bike for the 21st century. Norge is Italian for Norway, and it commemorates a 1928 bike that rode from Italy to Lapland, 4,000 miles. No mean feat for 1928.
Today's Norge is a little more refined than that 1928 predecessor. Guzzi outfitted the Norge to compete with upper-end sport touring bikes, like BMW's R1200 RT and the Yamaha FJR 1300. It comes outfitted with hard luggage standard, along with ABS, heated grips, an adjustable windscreen, and a digital trip computer.
Brookside Motorcycle Company, the authorized Moto Guzzi dealer in Tulsa, loaned us the keys so we could take the Norge out for a Sunday ride. We headed north to Osage County so we could hit some open road, wide sweepers, and twisties.
The V-twin produces 95 horses at the crank. The motor is smooth down low, but emits some vibes at higher revs. On the dyno, it's putting out 50 foot-pounds of grunt at a mere 2,500 RPM. A dry clutch connects the power to a silky 6-speed gearbox. The shaft drive is housed in a single-sided swing arm. Once all this sets you in motion, you've got 320mm Brembos up front to slow you back down. Anti-lock brakes are standard. The ergonomics are good on the Norge. Wind protection is very good, although the heat on your legs is quite noticeable. Brad and I both found the stock seat very comfy. Controls are well placed, except the wacky up-down switches for the windshield. And the clutch and brake have a good direct feel. My one complaint with the cockpit was the placement of the instruments. They're too low for me. Checking your speed isn't just a glance away, it requires looking down. The gauges are also angled at your crotch, which makes seeing some of the digital wizardry on the LCD impossible. The ride was stiffer than I expected. Maybe that's the difference between touring and turismo, I don't know. It's worth mentioning we were riding solo. The rear suspension would probably be happier with loaded bags and a passenger. But frankly, I was expecting the Norge to be plush and squishy. It was actually quite taut and felt pretty darn agile for a bike with the suitcases hanging off the sides. The steering was very precise, far more sport than tour, in my opinion. At $15,600, it's priced above comparable sport tours from Japan. But anyone seriously considering a Guzzi probably isn't comparing it to those bikes anyway. Overall, this bike is a nice ride. You won't have any trouble keeping up with your buddies, even if they're riding sport bikes. But you'll have room to bring along a change of clothes.